So this been dry for a day, so that should be good enough. Now we can continue doing our pattern. So the first pattern that I want to do here is this right here. I have made a stack of these check glass beads from Sam's, and if I want to change something in this, I should be changing right now, which I don't think so. I don't want to. So I'll start with this. Probably I'm not so sure whether I should include this blue also. I mean, it sure does look good, but I don't know about these. That's the only dilemma I have in my mind. So probably I won't use this. That's what I'm thinking. And also these beads are very yummy. And I love these beads. I have something else in my mind for these. But if I want to use it, I shall use it right here. So let me take these two needles. Okay, I'm going to use the two needles together. And I'm going to take my first bead, which is going to be this melon bead, and put the two needles together first, then probably this lentil bead, I'm gonna see if it looks good. The roundel, it has that blue and the brown together. It looks very gorgeous, very, very pretty. I love that. And also we are combining different shapes. It's a round, it's a melon striped one, and then we have the lentil, and then we have the roundel, and then we have this elongated bead, and then our check glass bead. So that looks about, say, very pretty. I like the way that it looks. And followed by this elongated bead, by that roundel, and by this lentil bead, then a melon bead. So this is the pattern I came up with, and you should see if it looks good to you. So it looks good to me, so I'm just going to get this down all the way to where my stuff is, right? So here we go. These two cords right now is safe to actually snip it off. Take my scissors, or you can also use thread snips, your wire cutters, anything. If you have, like, whichever you have it on your work table should work fine. Just snip it off, and now we don't have anything protruding over there. Everything is now continuous like this. So far this is the pattern that we have. Actually, I want it to lay like this, so I really kind of like it. So I removed all the seed beads. It just felt a little bit too dark for me, so I removed all the seed beads. And after this melon bead, I'm going to put a metallic seed bead, which is the tenno seed bead, which I really like the color of it. And then I add that. Then what I do is, then I add the darker color seed bead, and then one of this triangle checklist bead. This is also from Sam's Bead box, but in a different box. It was, I think, couple of months before. So I'm just going to see if this looks good, which I think I like. And then a seed bead. Maybe 2 seed beads. Just like this is so good. I think the 2 seed beads looks good. So I'm just going to remove this and add 2 seed beads. So I really want to lay down this pattern, like I didn't lay down this pattern, so I'm just designing as I go. This was done, similar necklace, lariat necklace was done by Kate, and I really liked it, and I want to do it. Once I saw the Terracotta's finding, then I was sure that I want to do that design for this pattern. I want to check, and this looks nice, and the color also goes well with this, I guess. And I also changed the tilla beads because I felt that tilla bead was a little bit what to say, was a little bit minty color and not suiting this blue. I want to replicate this blue, and this one seemed to be a little bit lighter version of this blue. I don't know if the camera picks it up properly. It looks a little bit mint, but in person it looks more blue than mint. So from the place that we start separating these two coats, I want to put a bigger bead so that it looks good. Or I want to have say like a saucer bead or something like this, so that it looks really good. And you can also use this bead again if you want, but I want to try and use this one right here. And then we can separate the coats and add our beads. And also I just don't want to add a lot, and I want to start with maybe 11 and the 10 seed bead and the 11. Maybe this is good, or 2 11s. A tile bead, and then 2 11s. Ten 2 11s. It's like really difficult to use this needle to do it, but this section looks good is what I wanted to see. Okay, take this other one, take the 2 leaveners and 1 seed bead, and then 2 leaveners. Okay, pass the needle through the tile bead or tilla bead, whichever you have available in your stash, and we'll just get all of this down here and see how well it looks. It kind of the separation is kind of different here, right? So I just want this to be seamlessly through, so that's why I'm looking for it, not to show the thread per se. See how it is not sitting properly. But the saucer bead is a nice addition here, because it kind of hides the knot a little bit. I think it looks good, in my opinion. Move all the beads down. So I need to add the same here, and I need to see if I really like this or not. If not, I should try a different one, but I think I really like it. It's good. So after this, I'm gonna make a knot, an overhand knot, and take the end and put it inside the loop right here. You can actually take a tweezer or tweezer nose pliers in my case, and then hold where you want the knot to be, just like that, and bring the knot down just like this. See this? And then just push it down towards the bead. You can get it tight that way. What you can do is you can take these 2 cords and make it even more tighter. So now everything is nice and secure here. And then I actually added another section of beads right here, which is a 10 seed bead and 2 11 seed bead, and this bicone bead kind of a thing. This check glass bead we got from some speed box. It was, I think, 4 months back, something like that. We had this beautiful, gorgeous turquoise blue color beads, and with this, so I thought, why not, we can use it. So I added that, right? And the 10 seed bead in the metallic color. I want to add some metallic elements to this necklace as well. Then I added 2 seed beads and followed by that 10 seed bead. And then what I can do is I can go ahead and make myself another knot if I want to. Or I can do is I can add more beads and to tie a knot. So I'm thinking I'll do one more knot here. So you can knot wherever you want. You can knot every other bead or every single bead or every single section, like however you prefer. So I just prefer doing a knot right here, right next to this little section that I created. So I am just going to knot like this, and there we go. Okay, and then I added this saucer bead. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to knot after the saucer bead. I know it's a lot of knot, but trust me, I just wanted to knot because I want to separate the cords and then add beads. So I thought after a knot it would look nice. So I am just making a knot and then holding that cord right there on top, and then push that knot towards the saucer bead right there. Okay, then I added some seed beads and the tile bead. So there we go. This is what I added. See this? But I'm thinking, should I add a check glass bead to make this transition smooth? As you can see, this looks like that, but I want it to look like more of a V rather than it's just rotating like this. So I will take this apart and then come back. Here we go. I removed everything, and then I have these small but yet very pretty truck beads, and I'm gonna actually take both of my cord, okay, both of my needles, and add one of them here. And check how good it looks, and I really like it. The next time I might not put 2 knots in between the saucer bead or the lentil bead because I kind of didn't like it, but I don't want to take it off either. So I'm just gonna leave it there. The next time I won't put it. But this is a design option that I want to choose. It's okay to have it this way or either way. It's fine. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add two seed beads separated by a tenon seed bead, and then a tile bead, do the same for the other one as well, the other needle. Take 2 levinos, one levino, one tenon, and one levino, and then go through the tile bead, the other hole of the tile bead, and then now you can pull these needles out and drop everything down to your work. Now that looks good. I really kind of like it. Now what I'm going to do is pick up 2 levinos, a tile bead, take the other one, pick up 2 levinos, go through the next hole in the tile bead, drop everything down. Right? Then again separate the needles, pick up 2 11-0s, 1 10-0 and 2 11-0s. No, actually 1 11-0, 1 10-0, 1 11-0, and then on both the needles and then I'm gonna take 2 needles together. Okay, then we can add 1 roundel or one of these check glass big bead. I think these are table cut, I'm not so sure, but very, very pretty bead. I like the look of it. I will come back and follow the same pattern, then I'll show you guys, then I will knot, and then I'll start the next one. So section by section we will handle this necklace. So I'm almost done. I am here and I still have this much space to go through, and I ran out of thread. Actually, I can finish it off here and call it a day. I can continue doing this and then finish it off here and then be done with it. But I just, if only I would have taken 6 feet of cord, that should be good enough. 6 feet each. But I want to see how I can add thread to such a project. It should not be that hard, is what I'm thinking. But let's see how it goes. So here is my little shadow bead, and then I'm going to take my 2 cords and pass through the roundel, no, the lentil bead, and then obviously a 10-0. I'll go through all the things that I did string already. I'll go through each one of them, but right now I'm here, so I'm replicating the same thing. So I have a 11-0. So this is this takes a little bit of time. I'm just giving you guys a heads up, because this needle is very soft, and you can use big eye needle if you want, so that's an option. Okay, I ran out of this bead, which I'll get it. I do have them, that much I know, but I put it outside, maybe just miscalculated it for 1 less, so that's okay. And then I see this one has a big hole, so I want a bead which can hide holes, because I'm not even going to add 1, but I'm going to add 2, right? So I just add this bead, okay, and also then continued by 2 seed beads, 11 seed beads, and as I said, it's easy to use this, at the same time it's difficult. I feel the big eye needle would be a little bit easier, but I don't know if it will accommodate 4 of my cords, so that's the bummer. So, and then I'm supposed to have a knot here. So this is the knot I'm banking on. So what I'm going to do is, instead of knotting with this two cords like an overhand knot which we did from the start of the necklace, I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I take two cords here, this one right here. I don't think so I have anything left over, so I will take 1 feet, about say 1.25 feet. Okay, so I cut some cord. I should have done it first, but it's okay. I am learning a new thing, how to add cord to a knotted bracelet or a knotted necklace. This can be really long as well. So I have here about say 1.25 feet, so of two cords. Okay, I have two. So I take this two cords together and take my working cord and tie an overhand knot together. Okay, just like so. Okay, it won't get tightened. Hold on, I need two of them together. So what I'm going to do is take these two cords and tie a small overhand knot. This is why extra knot or extra cord is awesome. So I just tied an overhand knot right here, and then it's easy for me to manipulate with this. So now I tie a general knot on these. Okay, just like that. It won't tighten, but bring it all together just like this. Don't worry about the needle for now, right? So just like this, and then tie another knot. See this, it came off. Okay, there we go. That's one knot, and then again another knot. Before you tighten that, make sure this knot stays right next to the bead. So take your pliers and bring it all the way towards, see, I took it off. Okay, let's do it again. There we go. So we tighten this knot, okay, really nicely and tight, and then drop a spot of glue on that knot. Grab your GS Hypo or Zap glue, whichever you have right there, and then drop it on this knot. Not a lot, but just so that it seals the knot. Sometimes this thing is hard to close. Okay, now ideally I would let this completely dry and then work on it. Now we are going to add these beads, which I want all the thread to go through. Okay, that's the thing that I wanted to be done. So I remove the needles of all the thread. I take all 4 cords like this. Okay, and then take the newly added cord, okay, which is long as you see, and then what you do is add all the beads that you're supposed to add here. First this one right here. So here you can see I went through all the beads, just this portion after I knotted right here, I went through with all the 4 strands through this. And now what I'm gonna do is, as you guys can see here, we have this this metallic roundel kind of a bead. It's a spacer bead, and then this ring, and there is one more metallic spacer bead, and then our terracast finding. So I do have that terracast finding here. I'll be grabbing my metallic spacer bead. These two are the ones that I used. So this is from my own stash. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is, again, insert all of these through it. Just fold this and kind of squeeze it over on top of it, and then you can take all the froze strands out. If one is not going, it's okay, you can just put it in, it goes through easily. So if you are using silk cord for this, you can use size 4 silk cord doubled over, and you can use 2 needle, and then the needle will be attached to the 2 cords, so you don't have to do this. But I really like this security. At the same time, it's flexible as a silk cord, but it's a polyester cord that will last me forever. So that then we are going to add seed beads to these long strands. These 2 short strands, you don't have to cut it right now because we are going to knot with it, so you just leave it aside and then take these 2 cords which is long, which you can work with, and then continue continue adding the seed beads. I will count the exact number of seed beads I did this side because I don't want to. I think I did 20 here and I didn't count this loop right here. So from here to here it's 20. Then we are going to add the ring as well to this, and I will come back after adding that many seed beads. So I added 20 seed beads, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 2 needles. Okay, it already came out, but that's okay, we can add the needle at any point of time. If you're using a silk thread, the needle will be attached to it, so you don't have to face this problem of the needle coming off all the time. So I want to take these 2 needles and go through these from underneath the ring and then come back. So this is how it looks so far, right? So now what I'm going to do is, this one is the top part. I need to just check through the entire necklace which one is the top, which one is the front, and which one is the bottom. Doesn't matter really, but I just want to make sure that everything is proper. Okay, so we just went underneath that, so you can also shift it like this. That means you're going from underneath upwards. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these 2 needles again, pass through this big hole bead that we have here, drop it down, then take these 2 needles and again pick up 20 seed beads on both the needles. I counted this loop, so there is 20 seed beads on both the needles. So that's what I want to do, but 20 seed beads on both the needles. It's a little bit slow, but it's workable. I'll just add these 20 seed beads and come back. So I added the 20 beads and I also added the terracotta finding. So it just goes on top of the seed beads, so you don't have to really worry about it. But I just added that also. I got everything here. Now I want to go back and then go through this. So take my 2 needles together and then go back through this big hole bead. It's pretty easy to go through because I have a nice and big hole. But if you want to use one that has a less big of a hole, that is also perfectly fine. It looks much better that way, I believe, but I don't have a big enough hole that does that. See how it is? So I just need to tighten this up. Not really tighten it pretty bad, but decent enough so that, you know, so that's that. Now what I'm going to do is take these 2 cords again and separate these needles and add 20 beads in each of the needles. So I added the 20 beads on each of these needles and I got it down. Okay, so if you look at it, you need to look at it from a point of view like this. So that is coming from, okay, say from inside to outside, and this is going to go from outside. I mean, let me be clear. So here we go. So this one is going to go, that's coming from inside to outside. So this one is going to go outside to inside. So hopefully I am doing, okay, I come from this side anyways. So I come from this side. Okay. I'm looking at it in a wrong way, that much I understand, but don't know how I did it in the first place. So here we go. I just straighten that up, like how it comes and goes, kind of a thing. So here I take, if I say this one, so I need to go from underneath up. Let's see and find out. That's what I would say. So I'll take one, separate these 2 first. Okay, I'll take the needle off. That makes it easy. Separate these 2 and then go from underneath and on top and see how it lays. That way we will know for sure how it should be, right? So if you can see, yes, that's what I wanted to. Take this, go from underneath and on top. So that way, if you can see on the side, it goes perfectly. And I put the first initial cords in the middle and this one outside, so it lays nicely. So take these 2 cords. I wish the needle was still there in that, but that's okay. So I don't know which one has the needle and which one doesn't. Okay, these 2. Okay, take these 2 and put it through this big hole bead, and you can take the needle off right now. Don't need it anymore. So here everything is nice and tidy. Just pull it and see how it lays. So these 2 cords from our initial project here goes like this. I'm holding everything on top and seeing how it lays down and how it does and everything, and does it even look good. So for some reason this one feels to be long. I don't know why, but it is a little bit, looks a little bit longer than this. So let me see how much these beads are. So that's a 5 and that's a 5. There is 19 beads, instead I put 20 beads, but that's just okay. But this part right here, I need to check how much I did add. That's 5, that's 5, and yeah, there is only 16. I put 20 beads, no matter. I wonder why it is not, it is long. So I'll just reduce the number of beads and I'll come. So I reduced the seed beads. I did everything all over again, but now I get to check out this right here. So the final part, I just want to twist everything back in proper place and see everything is nice and secure. And then this one is coming from so just flip this one right here. Okay, these two, the one coming back from the pendant or the drops, I just separate these two on either side. I'm sorry if I bump the camera. And then I come back from underneath and on top, and then do the same the other side as well. Take this thread, come back from underneath and top. And also, if you can see here, I did this outside the 2 strands that was already inside. Sorry if I'm saying that like in a weird fashion. What I meant to say is, see this, these 2 strands are outside and the first initial strands was inside. That's what I meant to say. So now everything is like this and I really like the way it sits. Now what I would do is I would take these 2 cords together once again and kind of go through this. So these 2 cords, okay, come back here, and also I want these 2 cords to also be there only, not come back through. So what I will do is somehow, yes, so these 2 I will insert it back through this metal bead, spacer bead, because it's a big hole. I can achieve all of those, and just pull everything together, make it nice and tight here and not leave any space whatsoever. And so everything is now here. So what I'm going to do here is take these 2 cords and these 2 cords and tie an overhand knot, just like by separating those 2 and then knotting together nice and tight, just nice and tight. And this is going to secure everything in place. So just check once more and I feel good about it, and then I go ahead and tie in again another knot, this time probably a surgeon's knot. That means go through the loop twice, once and then twice, and then go ahead and secure it nice and tight. If you want, you can put one more knot as well, and just put a drop of glue right there and then snip off the threads. That's all you have to do. See, we have attached cords to this knotted necklace, and then we made it seamless, right? This one I already did it yesterday, so it's been 24 hours, so I can just cut these two and then call it a day. And here also I will not cut this at this point of time, because this is important that it stays pretty damn good. So what I would do is take my GS Hyposement or bead stringing glue, whichever you have available. I have this GS Hyposement, sorry, bead along bead stringing glue, and I just put a dab there, just a drop inside, and then I go inside if possible and squeeze some, and that should be good enough. And I let it dry for 24 hours and then snip the excess thread off. And as I said, 6 feet would be good enough for this long necklace, and I would cut it up close when the glue completely dries. But now I just want to cut it right here, just not have a whole lot of thing while showing you guys, but I will not cut it close to it until it's completely dry. And so if you look at this necklace, this is how it looks, and it looks really pretty. I really like the way it turned out to be, and I hope you guys like this too, right? This is a very nice project, and this highlights this finding that I have here from Sam's Bead Box. And if you know, right here, let me just point out everything we have here. So we started with this, right? And then we did this part. This is one pattern, and then I continued here with just 5 beads. There's a knot here, right here, and I don't know if you can see clearly. There is a knot right here, right? And then I added 3 of these seed beads, and I separated it by a check glass bicone. And then I have a knot here and here, which you don't need to. I just did a mistake by that, but you don't really see those. And then I have this shadow bead, then continued with this beautiful 2-hole tile beads, and then seed beads, and then seed beads, and then our focal check glass, and then followed by the same pattern. I just followed it, and I put a saucer bead right there and continued this pattern right here, which we had here, right after this one section. So this is one section, and this is one section, and then the connecting section is always going to be this bicone and those beads. And then I had one more section similar to the first section that I have here. And then if I move on to, I repeat this, but see, in the middle I have this big bead, and here I have this roundel, so I alternate that also. And then I separated by this section, and also I added this in the middle. So, and then the roundel, and then this in the middle. But if I have this, see, I did 4 tile beads here, and then 4 tile beads here, and after coming here I just put 2 tile beads, and then continued by 4 tile beads, and then 2 tile beads, and then 2 here, and 4 here, 2 here, and 4 here. So to look about this design, right, so it's a long necklace. It's about, say, 52 inches or so, and what I did was I did until this middle portion. So the middle portion is the first pattern that I came up with, which starts here. So I came to that middle portion and then I followed it, mirroring the same pattern. You can see this. These two are the same. So does this, so does this, and so does this. I mirrored the same pattern. You don't have to do this. You can actually change it and make it into an asymmetrical pattern. And then I have knots between these sections, sometimes between two sections. So for example, here I have a knot and then I don't have a knot here. I have a knot here after this particular section and this bicone section. So you don't have to knot completely after every single sections. You can choose to knot randomly also, and you can choose to knot less as well. You don't need to knot a lot with just this patterns, and so flexible and so comfortable to wear. And I will cut this down later, but I hope you guys like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification. I do upload videos almost every day except for Sunday. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.